Well, let me tell you the story of my mailbox. So one of the when I first started with Zigbee, um, partly it was to get some of the motion sensors um, and partly because I was just I was tired of the usage pattern of Wi-Fi devices. I don't like, I wanted local control. If Wi-Fi is down, I still want my lights to come on. That sort of thing. And there was a time period where my outgoing network was a little less reliable. And I thought, "Ugh, it is such a drag when your lights don't turn on because you had a 2-minute outage at sunset."
Yep.
It's
Totally.
really awful.
Totally.
So I started Zigbeeifying, and one of the like white whales of this whole effort was, as I look out the window, I can see my mailbox, and it's maybe like 100 meters from where I'm sitting right now. And what I wanted was to put a motion sensor in there so that I knew when the mailbox opened. I just want to know when the mail arrives because it's just
Mhm.
far enough that it's a drag to walk out there and the mail hasn't come. And so I said, okay, great. I will put a Zigbee motion sensor out there. And it worked. It didn't not work. If it just didn't work or couldn't connect from there, that would be one thing. But it just barely worked and just barely didn't work. So it would work for a day, 2 days, and then it would lose connection. And connection would be lost for a week, and then it would find it for a day, and then. So one of the things that I did is right outside my garage. I'm right above the garage, and outside the garage were these kind of like candelabra type sconces. They take the small bulbs, like not the A19 big
Oh, the
bulb
little
bases,
tiny.
but the little candelabra bulbs. So now,
Yeah.
so now what I'm looking for are Zigbee bulbs with the little base. I was like, okay. So I found some
Oh,
Sengled Zigbee bulbs. And so I got two goals, which is if I'm going to Zigbeefy that, I can turn them on and off and I can do all the fun things. But I want them to be repeaters so that I have a little bit more reach out there to my mailbox. I'm just trying to give my mailbox a chance to work. So I bought those Sengleds and I put them in there. And then I found that Sengleds are the one bulb that doesn't repeat. I was like, what? what?
yeah.
What? That's the whole point of putting them in
Yeah.
there. So then I bought like two Phillips bulbs and dropped them in the sconces. So they're almost all Sengleds except for two of them. And it worked. And it went from, dropping, 7 days and then being on to two to dropping 4 days and being on for three. It still didn't work. And so meanwhile, I liked having those Zigbee bulbs there because I've just stuck a little motion sensor, and so I have very complicated logic on that driveway, which is like the whole Home Assistant journey is thinking things like I back my car into this driveway, and when it's dark, I can't really see where I am, so I want that light on when I'm backing up. How do I achieve
Yep.
that? And so I put the motion sensor up there, but I also have an automation that says it's a geofence automation that says if I arrive home and the sun is down, turn that light on whenever it is. Or if in a time boundaries, if there's motion, turn it on. So I have the most complicated, the most complicated condition of any of my automations is turning this driveway light on. Uh,
Sure.
and but all that stuff works, but I can't get the mailbox notifications with the robustness that I want. So then when you had the CTO of Zooz on, I thought, all right, here we go. Long wave Z-Wave. That's long range Z-Wave. That's what I want. So I bought the Zooz coordinator and a Zooz motion sensor. And I did it, and it worked almost, like so close, but it didn't quite work. I thought, oh. So and I thought, am I just going to have to give up on this? This seems so doable. It does not seem like the mission to fail on. It was like, I can see the mailbox. It's right there. I just want notifications. And that's when I got the ZWA2. And so I saw that announced. I said, this is my last swing at this pinata. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
this ZWA2, hook it up. And since I hooked that up, it's been perfect. So I guess that extra care with the antenna, like the bigger antenna on the paper
Yep.
towel holder looking thing. Gives
Yeah.
it just enough range that it will connect to my mailbox, uh, and correctly give me those notifications. But it was, I mean, it was like a year from beginning to end, like when I first wanted this to
Yeah.
happen to when I was actually getting the notifications.
That's interesting. I was gonna say the other technology, not to add more technologies in your stack to try, would be LoRa, right? It's like, which is again, it's more industrial stuff, right? Typically, and it's got its range, and its bandwidth is like, I don't know, like a kilobit or something like that. Like it's not much, but it's enough,
Mhm.
right? And it's not like you're sending video over it or anything like that. So that that I would have been like, if you fully gave up on it, I would have suggested to go that way. But
In a huff, I would
Z-Wave
have said,
LR is
"I'm not doing anything
a
else," and then in a year, I would have bought a bunch of Laura stuff.
yeah, yeah. But Z-Wave LR is a really cool technology, right? And you do lose the meshing part of Z-Wave when you do it, but it's still pretty awesome.